Do you want to live longer and healthier? Who wouldn't? Well, today we're going to talk about aging and how to age gracefully. Well, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. DuPont. I'm a board-certified gynecologic oncologist, and I'm passionate about teaching women how to improve their lives, and I believe that begins with good health. If you're new here, please press the subscribe button below and continue watching. Well, when we think about aging, we think about getting older, and there's like nothing we can do about it. Well, while we can't stop aging, if we continue to live, there are things we can do to live healthier and longer. It is estimated by 2050 there will be 2.1 billion people that are over the age of 60. We think of aging as an increased risk for diseases such as cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's disease, and cancer. It has been estimated that for Americans, by the age of 80, 1 in 2 men will develop cancer and 1 in 3 women will develop cancer by the age of 80. And that's a lot of people. Well, what can we do to slow the effects of aging, and how can we live healthy for longer? There's a book I read that I just love called The Blue Zones. I definitely highly recommend it. It's by Buettner, and what it does, it looks at the healthiest people in the world who live to be over 100 but were healthy. And it's a great guide to show, what we can do now to prevent chronic diseases, or to be able to live healthy for as long as possible. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. I'll put it in a link below. Well, there's been some really fascinating research around aging, and one that comes up often is telomeres. So telomeres are the little caps on the edges of, or the ends of our chromosomes. I guess discovered in the 1920s, where 2 scientists were looking at a sequence of repeats at the end of the chromosomes. And what they've noticed over time was that the shortening of the telomeres over time really was a good predictor for aging, and cellular aging more importantly. So then by 1985, there were 2 female scientists that discovered an enzyme called telomerase that helps maintain those kind of caps at the end of chromosomes. The work is so fascinating. 2009 Nobel Prize in Medicine and Physiology was actually given to 3 people who discovered telomerase and were very instrumental in moving this research forward. So one thing we do know is that the rate of telomere shortening is very important for the pace of aging. So there's thoughts that, if you could slow down the shortening of those telomeres, maybe aging won't happen so fast. Because, you've probably seen people in your family or your coworkers, and some people just look like they age faster than others. And, the telomeres may play a part in that, but as we'll talk about later, there's a lot of lifestyle factors that also can increase the rate of those telomeres shortening. We have noticed that when the telomere lengths reach a critical limit, the cells will actually die, which is apoptosis, or senescence, where the cells just stop growing and stop dividing. So the length of those telomeres is so important. And we have seen that shorter telomeres are a risk factor for cancer. Now, the length of telomeres are affected by several factors. There's age, genetics, environmental, social, economic status, exercise, body weight, and smoking. These are all factors, and most of these factors you can control. You can't control your age or your genetics, but there's other ones that you really can control. There are some natural ways to slow aging, and researchers have found ways to improve or actually slow down that kind of aging process, and most of them are common sense things. I have seen some companies, and I think there's some in my area, that you can order supplements from. Actually, I bought some several years ago because it was kind of an attractive concept for me. But I don't really know that it helped all that much. But what I did realize is that, there's some things that I can do if I'm just disciplined, that I can do that. I don't need to, purchase a tablet or a capsule, and take every day to reduce the pace of my aging. A lot of it is just things that are common sense things. And there are some companies also that I looked when I was looking on the internet, that you can sign up for programs, and they'll kind of take you through a process that'll help you to improve the length of your telomeres. I'm not sure there's a lot of evidence, but I think as we learn more and more about this area of research, the companies are going to grow that can kind of target this area. But most of it is just common sense things. So we're going to talk about some ways that you can actually improve your health and slow down the rate of aging. All right, so the biggest thing is diet. So we know a plant-based diet that's low in fiber, low in refined carbohydrates are very important to aging. And if you read that book, The Blue Zones, you'll see how important diet is in terms of people living longer and being healthier. I'll tell patients that you don't really see anybody that's in their 90 or 100 that's overweight, because most people overweight just don't live as long. So watching your weight, exercising are just so important. Other things in your diet is increasing antioxidants such as omega-3, vitamin C, beta-carotene, vitamin E. Getting that in your diet will help also reduce the kind of pace of aging. And I'm going to tell you some of the foods that may make you hungry, but increase omega-3, get more fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, trout, walnuts, chia seeds. I'll put like chia seeds in my yogurt. You can eat that. Flax seeds, eggs, hemp seeds. Increasing your vitamin E, sunflower seeds, almonds. I love almonds. I just kind of keep them in my purse, keeps them in my car. I snack on them all the time. Pumpkins, red bell pepper, collard greens, which I love. My mom makes really good collard greens. Spinach. Of course, it's the raw spinach. Pine nuts, avocados. Those are very good sources of antioxidants. And then increasing your vitamin C, we know by oranges, but there's strawberries, pineapple, mango, Brussels sprouts, kiwi, bell peppers, peaches. I mean, all these things sound so wonderful, but they increase your levels of vitamin C. And then increasing beta-carotene in your diet, dark leafy vegetables, spinach, sweet potatoes, carrots, butternut squash, you get the point. And so just eating a more plant-based diet, eating less processed foods. I tell my patients, try to limit the amount of eating out, really. I try to personally eat out no more than once a week. I know there's sometimes when I'm traveling it's a little bit harder, but I try to limit just once a week to eating out. Try to cook foods at home. They'll be healthier, they'll have less chemicals, they'll have less salt, less sugar. And over the long haul, it's just better for your overall health. Exercise. Exercise is so important in maintaining not only our mental health, but our physical health or well-being. And it's really important, and it has been shown to reduce the rate of the telomere shortening, as well as reducing chronic stress. Now, we know some stress is important because it helps us get work done at school or at work, but it's the chronic stress, the stressors over years and years. You'll see patients that just have so much stress in their life, whether it's due to family members or spouses, just whatever. That chronic daily stress is what really causes more aging. And you'll see it in patients. You'll see that they just look older than their peers just because of chronic stress. And sleep more. We know Americans don't get enough sleep. We need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. My former assistant just had a baby, and little babies, they sleep all the time. And we, as we get older, we forget the importance of sleep. So sleep is so important. Increasing your sleep is something that's easy to do. You don't need a supplement or a pill in a bottle. Just sleep more. And don't smoke. So smoking will shorten your telomeres, and we know it's harmful. We know it increases cancer, especially lung cancer. And I tell patients that have abnormal PAPs, tobacco smoking is important in terms of making it harder to clear human papillomavirus. So just stop smoking. If you smoke, stop. It's very expensive and it's not healthy. And then also lastly is reduce alcohol intake. Most things are in moderation. When you drink excessively, you're also shortening those telomeres and reducing the length of your life. So definitely alcohol in moderation. Well, today we talked about aging gracefully, and it's really easy. It doesn't take, extra supplements. It doesn't take, spending money on expensive programs. It's really just common sense, taking care of your body, eating better, moving more, and watching, the calories you eat and the type of foods that you eat, and then limiting alcohol and don't smoke. Just don't do it. Those are ways that you can actually age gracefully and also reduce the pace of your telomere shortening. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you like this video, keep watching, and the next one will pop up soon. Thank you, and see you in the next one.